Welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. Welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing. Welcome to the Rusty Hook. Hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. It's John Rapp. I want to thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe or follow and share. Hit that button down to the left and let's get this episode out with all our folks. See, we got 6 viewers on, so hey, when you get on there, shout out to us, show us, let us know you're on. Hit a like button. So tonight we got a few things that we're going to discuss. We've got Mikey Holcombe and we've got Chris Payne sitting in the background waiting to come on with us. And we're going to talk about Bass Nation and West Virginia Bass Nation. Mikey has got some information on that. He just recently was announced about 4 hours ago as the assistant director for the kayak division of West Virginia Bass Nation. So congrats on that. Hey, Jonathan Cart, good to see you, big guy. So let's look at something here. I want to talk about. Let's see here, John. Okay. I don't think I've got it set up right now. So let's just go ahead and bring on Mikey. Okay. So, well, okay. Before we bring on Mikey, I want to talk about what we're going to do at Feelfree. Okay. So let's show you what I've been working on with Roland Bones Jimenez, our marketing director. So, boom. We will be doing down the road a podcast monthly with the Feelfree Fishing Team. And as you can see, this is just our mock-up right now for one of our scenes. He has been working on these down there in Texas to get these set up for the way I do things here at Streamlab. And then I'm going to go out and reach out. And we're going to have guys from headquarters come on and talk about product. And then we're going to do team member stuff like this here with just an example. I threw this together with Beth a few years ago. We're going to do team member events, team member videos. We're going to talk about the events and talk about fishing techniques, tips, tricks, and other things using the Feelfree platforms, which include you got your Johnny Boat, you got your Sea Stream, and of course you got your Three Waters Big Fish series. So this is just an old video that we put together. Me and Beth did a few years back when she was still able to get out much, and just wanted to show you as an example how we're going to do things with the Feelfree podcast. So that's how it's going to work. It just the same type of scenes, but I'm really excited to announce this. We've got about 30 team members that we're going to be able to interview from all over the nation, from all 4 of our boats, and but really looking forward to doing a monthly chat with Joe, Mongo, and Roland, and Denver, and Joel, and even hopefully we can get Big Jim on. So anyway, looking forward to that. Feelfree Fishing Team podcast coming soon. So guys with the Feelfree team, I hope you guys will be ready to rock and roll with that, and as we change gears and do that. So let's go ahead and let's bring on our first guest. Mikey, if you're there, unmute yourself.
You good to go?
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah.
All right, sweet. I can't see you. Usually I can see it, but I can't see it.
I got you. I wanted to give you all of the screen time, big guy. All that prettiness up. So folks, we got Mikey Holcombe here. Mikey is Well, let's just talk about Mikey's resume. You saw his video flash up there. He's a member of the Kayak Fishing team. He is the West Virginia Kayak Anglers Online Challenge Series Tournament Director. He's picked that role up this year. So he's one of our officers for our club. And now, as of about 4 hours ago, his plate got fuller. They added a big side of mashed potatoes and green beans to it. Now he is the West Virginia Bass Nation Assistant Kayak Tournament Director. Mikey, tell us what's going on. Let's go one. Let's talk about those 3 tournaments that you're going to run. Two, why don't you tell everybody how they go about the simple way of joining Bass so they can participate in those 3 tournaments that you're going to be running at minimum.
Okay, sweet. So basically, this coming season, 2022, you're going to have Stonewall Jackson on April 10th, which is actually going to follow up West Virginia Kayak Anglers the day before. So that's on April 9th, Saturday. Definitely check that out. But we're going to be on Stonewall the day after. All 3 of these main trail tournaments are on Sundays. Bass likes to do that. You've seen Southern West Virginia, and MSKA. It's a full schedule for guys in West Virginia. So when we were looking at the schedule and trying to be as non-conflicting as possible, that's what we went with. You're going to check out Stonewall on April 10th. That'll be a good tournament. And, if you're already up here for the West Virginia Kayak Anglers event the day before, why not stick around for an extra day? You've already fished the day before. It doesn't conflict with pre-fishing at all, so you might as well stick around and check it out. Get, $50 entry fee, 20% payout on the field. Give you a chance to earn some extra money. You got Jackson County, May 1st. You see Jerry Spradling posting all these big fish from Jackson County and some of those other guys. I mean, there's some giants out there. And I think May 1st, anybody who fishes the spawn in West Virginia knows May 1st is it's really starting to heat up that time of year. So I think that's going to be a great event. I personally struggle with Jackson County a little bit, but I know some guys that really go out there and smash them. So maybe I can learn something from them or, step up my game this year on those Jackson County lakes. June 12th, near and dear to my heart, you got the Elk and Little Kanawha. And that's going to be a great tournament. June's a wonderful time to be on the river. The Elk's awesome. Little Kanawha is going to fish awesome. That's going to be we'll be releasing all the eligible waters for that at a later date. Each of these events will have their own event page, with start time, end time, Tourney X, links for signing up, the usual, the standard across the state. So,
well, I've got your graphic up for people to look at there, new for 2022, with where they did your announcement there about 5 hours ago. Has the tournament schedule on it that you're going to be running.
Sweet.
So it looks like you got a July 16th statewide online too.
Yeah, that is an online qualifier. So similar to how we did it last year in separate regions, it's just going to be a statewide qualifier. For any, we completely understand people have lives, they have schedules. If you're not able to come out and fish these 3 trail events to qualify for the state championship that way, you have the qualifier on July 16th. It's on a Saturday. Come out, catch a fish. It's 12-inch minimum. We'll release that too. We'll have a Tourney X link for that and its own event. So, if you're not able to qualify through the trail or you want to do both, you want to get your money's worth, come out and fish it too. I mean, it's just another opportunity for guys to get out there and qualify for the state championship. And ultimately end up in Knoxville next year because as we saw with the Bass announcement, the Bassmaster Classic is coming back to the Tennessee River next year. That's not a far trip for a lot of guys here in West Virginia. So that's a big goal of mine is to make it, qualify for the state championship and qualify for the national championship, especially after finishing 3rd last year. I'd really like a chance to go to Tennessee next year, and I know a lot of guys like going down there. So,
hey, so you got a couple guys asking some questions here. So, how do they get on a team? I think maybe they're talking about how they join Bass. It's from Mike Capper. And then
Okay.
Elvis Lee is asking the same question.
Okay, sweet. So in that graphic you provided, there should be a post. I will share that link to this comment section. Go on Bass website, become a Bass member. It costs $15, and then reach out to the tournament director, Shane Rains, or myself, and we will get you on a team. So there are 12-person teams across the state. You are an adult Bass member. There is no, Bass doesn't. There's no kayak sign up. There's no boat sign up. I mean, you can get your money's worth. You can go fish both sides if that's what you want to do. Reach out to us. Send us your information, and we'll get you assigned to a club, and then you pay your Bass dues. And those range anywhere between $50 and $85 for your entire dues. So you're looking at about $100 total.
Well, it looks like you're being watched by the big boss of Bass Nation. Looks like Kenny Hackworth is on here. Welcome to the Rusty Hook, Ken. Greg Kupfner said, good stuff. This is much better than the way Bass Nation had done things in the past. So, good. Already off the bat, Mikey, you've got people excited from the kayak side.
That's the goal, man. We've got a lot of opportunities for kayak anglers, and West Virginia on a national scale. I mean, we show up and show out on a consistent basis. Anybody who knows about kayak fishing across the country knows that West Virginia probably has one of the, right there with Tennessee and Texas, especially per capita. I mean,
definitely
we have a lot of we are a very strong state for kayak fishing, and you could honestly fish between these four, with the three clubs and Bass. You could never leave the state, from April to October, and have a full schedule and fish anywhere you want and make some money. So.
I mean, the gold event for the West Virginia kayak anglers, 25 men, $125 pay-in, $2,000 first place prize. That's good. You don't leave the state and you make $2,000. I mean, that is a great tournament. So
exactly.
Ken just popped up. He says, I appreciate you talking on the position of Bass Nation of West Virginia Assistant Kayak Tourney Director, Mikey. Mikey said,
thank you. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that.
Giving you some props, brother. Ken, you stole a good one. So I'm sure Greg is probably thinking, "Oh no, don't steal my boy." But Mikey's
I'm multifaceted. I've got it.
Yeah, he's got a big plate. He can handle it. He got big spoons. So.
And honestly, John, it's just we had some, there's been concerns in the past with the way things operated, and this gives people I personally think, three really good trail events to go out. We're going to pay out 20% of the field. I think that's a really good, some people like it, some people don't. I think it's a great thing it's a great opportunity to earn some money fishing these three events, and you get to qualify for the state championship. So, like I said, just reach out to me or Shane. We'll get you set up and get you some time. Get your dues paid and get out there and start fishing. So I think it'll be a really good thing this season.
Yeah, well, I'm excited about it. I mean, I haven't, not. I guess the biggest issue when they started it, a year and a half ago, was the confusion on how to get involved. Because when I was running WVKA, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to apply and get a Bass Nation membership for the club so our club members could qualify, but it didn't work that way. Their whole entity wasn't like how you became a KBF club member.
Affiliate.
They had all these different clubs all over the state that were already Bass Nation clubs, and they wanted you to join that. And I had a hard time processing it and figuring it out. But I'm really glad how you and Shane have streamlined this where, okay, join Bass, get your membership, and
just reach out to us.
Once you've done that, send me an email and then
shoot me a message. Shoot me an email, shoot me a message on Facebook, message Shane, and we'll get it sorted out and we'll get it taken care of.
So excellent, man, excellent. So
we can talk about Beach Fork real quick. I know a couple guys, everybody's a critic. I'm sure somebody's going to see it and be like, "Oh, Beach Fork." It's August 27th, and that the reason for that if you look at the statewide schedule, September is jam-packed with kayak fishing across the state. So that's a tough ask on people. There was kind of a lull there in the end of August for people. October, you start running into club championships. You've got the famed, best of the best championship this year, which is going to be awesome. And then you start running, people are in they're in tree stands. So yeah. I think, and then August, you got to watch getting on big lakes. You got to watch getting on Summersville, Stonewall for boat traffic. So I think Beach Fork is a good option there for a smaller lake. You don't have to worry about getting hit by jet skis in August. I mean, I think it'll be a good event.
Hey, I agree. Beach Fork, we've held tournaments there before. It's a nice lake. I don't see no issues with that. So
yeah. I'm excited, man. Between everything going on throughout the state, I'm ready. I'm ready for warmer weather, and I'm ready to start fishing.
I know what you're saying there. I keep looking at that KBF Lake Murray tournament here in 2 weeks real hard. So
are you going?
I'm telling you, I'm looking at it real hard. I've got vacation to burn, so I'm looking at it real hard. I may have to reach out to Jerry and a few of the Stormy and them. Are you going? Are you going with Storm and Phillip?
Me. So it's actually Greg Marshall, myself, Evan, and Amos have a house down on, and we got an Airbnb down there. And I know Philip's going, and I feel like there's a few other guys going. I'll message you whenever I think about it.
Okay. Well, Evan Addison, buddy, Big Daddy can come right on down. That Big Daddy be there with you there, Dink Duo, the Dink Duo squad. Yeah, man.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go south.
Yeah, I went there last year. It was nice water. I struggled catching fish until tournament day, and then I only caught 3. Yeah.
I'm just ready to get on the water. We got hard water here. Everything's frozen. I'm over it. Like, I'm ready to start fishing, John.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So let me see. I had a couple other questions I wanted to talk to you about. Let's see. Let me see. Online challenge series. I've missed it. I don't think you guys have talked about it. Are we going to do a multi-species tournament this year?
I don't. As of right now, no.
Okay.
I know some guys enjoyed that. The participation was pretty hit and miss.
Yeah.
If that's something that wants to come back, or people want it to come back, we could always post that to the group and get a vote on it. I guess what's the general feel of that if people really wanted to do it. I think it's good for multi-species anglers. If you got a guy that's primarily fishes for muskie out of his kayak or catfish or whatever it kind of involves them. So I think it's a good thing here's
the reason I was asking, because where they created the DNR created those species things,
the master angler program or whatever.
And that would you could work that, coincide that, and we could also brag about our guys if they're doing the multi-species that maybe get the you're the online director, and you could look at it and say, hey, okay, I'm gonna create this challenge series with the multi-species this year, but with a flair to go in conjunction with what the DNR's doing. And then, and we could use that as a bragging tool. Look, we had 15 West Virginia kayak anglers that got that one certificate for the 3 bass over 12 or the I can't remember how it went, but I mean it's just something that I wanted to ask you guys to see if you and Greg had talked about it or thought about it or anything.
We haven't talked about it, but after you bring it up, I'll have to talk to him about it and kind of get maybe get a feel of what the club wants to do on that. Everybody kind of posted about that master angler program or whatever the DNR put out, like it was going to be something easy. But when you start looking at some of those species, it might be a little tougher than people think.
Well, the one that sticks out in my mind is the yellow perch. I mean, I know Summersville
Stonewall.
I know Summersville has them, but trying to target them and catch them, because bass and walleye.
I accidentally catch. They're always a bycatch for me.
Oh, really? I've never hooked into one of them. So, yeah,
I always catch them on a Ned rig on Stone Coal or Stonewall.
Okay, good to know.
But we can talk about the other events real quick. You got your normal monthlies, April through September. Everybody kind of knows the deal with those. Your best 5 fish throughout the month. You can keep calling up until the end of the month. Let's see, June 18th and 19th, we got a weekend event. I think that's a great time of year. July 16th, largemouth only.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a good one. Get on a little topwater bite on the lakes early before the sun comes up.
That's right.
Let's see, August 6th and 7th, weekend challenge. I think that's going to be a good event.
Yep.
October 1st, smallmouth only, near and dear to my heart. So I think it's good. You know, that whole challenge series consists of all those monthlies and the 4 specific challenge series.
Yeah,
so whoever
well,
it's a lot.
You were the winner of it last year. You won it last year. So, I mean, it takes a little bit of time. I mean, like you said, you put so many miles on your boat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was nothing. It was nothing for me to hit up Evan and be like, hey, I'm sitting at 89 inches. Do you want to go to the South Branch? I need to coal, I need to coal an 18. And you're spending all day trying to find a giant smallmouth on the South Branch. Or, hey, I'm sitting at 82 inches. I need 89 this month. I mean, you just, depending on where you live, I've got Stonewall down the road, but it's kind of hit and miss for me personally. And I love smallmouth and I love rivers. So it was a constant every weekend. So if you want to put the work in, depending on where you live, if you're privy enough to live somewhere that, like Jerry, or you can go out and smash giant largemouth on Jackson County, then that's one thing.
Hey, man, well, we appreciate you jumping on.
Absolutely, buddy. I'm glad you had me.
Hey, thank you. And we'll take a quick break here for a second. But if there's anything that you can think of when we pop back on after we get Chris on and do our fireside chat, man, just jump in here and let me know. So
all right, brother. Sounds good. Thanks for having me, John.
Hang on, big guy. We'll be right back. Hey guys, let's take a quick break, and then we're going to jump on back. We're going to bring Chris Payne back with us.
This episode is sponsored by our friends at Payne Outdoors. No nonsense, straight talk, outdoor analyst, and custom plastics. Googan Brothers Custom Tackle, custom made jigs and Ned rigs. Feelfree Kayaks. Pedal, paddle, or power, there's something for everyone. And YakGadget, proudly supplying you with American-made kayak fishing accessories and gear. Now, let's join our host, John.
All right, we're back, and we have a treat for you. He is back from working hard with the church and feeding many, many young kids the past few weeks. Last week, or I think it was last Tuesday. I think, from what I understand, he was out for 4 nights doing it. So let's bring on my boy Chris. Oh, come on, graphic. Move a little faster than that. Oh, it's moving nice and slow. We got some dragging going on. Let's just skip that graphic and go right on to Chris. Chris is in the kitchen. He's in the house. If you all were watching last week, he has sold out. The store is empty. So he's in there. He's cooking and building some new. Oh, pretty. Got some tubes in the action, huh?
Yes, sir.
So talk to us, brother. What you been into the past few weeks? Fill us in.
We've been doing stuff, some volunteer work and quite a bit, and been making a crap ton of baits. Thank you to everybody who's ordered and everybody who's already pre-ordered for the next set as soon as the new supplies come in. I've had several people ask me, they're like, well, how are you making baits if you're out? Or how are you selling baits if you're out? And so the way I have my store set up is I have quantities that reflect the number of supplies that I have to make those baits. I don't actually make baits until there's an order. And so I know, because I've been doing this long enough and I'm an analytics guy, I know if I have, 3 gallons of plastisol and X number of bags and X number of, ounces of glitter, that I can make X number of baits based on the average order. Anyway, I don't want to get too nerdy on it, but I have those thresholds set specifically so that I can fill every order that's put in. And our orders for bags hit our threshold and sold out in the store. So I'm making orders that came in before the sold out. That'll go out this week, but we'll be back up and going. I'll have full supplies and ready to go in 7 days now.
Awesome.
So we're 1 week out, and I'll have everything I need to do. It'll be a partial restock of supplies, just because of supply chain stuff. It's not that it's not available. It's just that demand is so high that people making glitter and plastisol and stuff like that are on a bit of a delay. But we've got some of it coming, and the rest of it will be shortly behind it. But anywho, that was really boring.
Was I snoring? I didn't mean to, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, I think I might have been.
Well, hey, I can tell you from the guys that have been fishing with your stuff here in West Virginia, been very happy with it. I know Rick Garvalia caught some huge fish on some of your stuff down in
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a lot of catches from the West Virginia guys, and I cannot thank the West Virginia kayak anglers enough. I mean, they've been great supporters, and have been willing to take a chance on my stuff. And I love that. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Like, I love first-time orders, but the absolute best thing is repeat orders, because that means you're believing in the product now.
Well, your family, bro. I mean, look at that shirt you're wearing. What can we say?
Yeah, got to rep.
Got to support each other, man. Support each other.
That's right. You guys can live vicariously through me while your water is all cold,
frozen. I mean, Summersville Lake just broke ice over the past few weeks, or past few nights.
Awesome.
Ooh, look at them nice lizards.
Yeah, baby. See them?
Mm-hmm. Well, looks like you and I are solo. We're going to run the rest of this show. Mikey had just posted that he got to jump off.
Okay.
And
yeah, he just got home, so I bet he's he's got a lot of things.
He's got work. He got work to do. Ken's already reaching out to him and says time to get to work. So yeah. Get off there. Stop talking. Get in there and start
work.
Get some emails and stuff sent out. So hot topic, man. The topics you were thinking about earlier.
Yeah. So I think something that is worth talking about is something that I've been through a few different times, and it's about.
Now I figured out why he had to jump off. His honey just said Caitlin is gone this week, so he is solo. So he got work to do at the house, honeydews. Thanks, hey Caitlin. Yeah. We appreciate you letting us know that you got that whip on Mikey, and you're making him get things done at the house. Hey, just kidding, Mikey. Love you, brother. Don't hurt me later. Anyway, go ahead, Chris.
No, so what I want to talk about is managing relationships with the companies that you work with or have worked with in the past. I think there are some dangers out there, especially, if you've worked with a company in the past and you're not working with them anymore. But you didn't burn your bridge on the way out. Maybe they moved a different direction, or maybe it just wasn't a great fit. So like for me, like NRS would be one of those. Costa would be one of those that I've worked with in the past. still love their products. They make great things. We're just not in a contract relationship right now. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And so what I've discovered is there are people who are either trying to get where you are or where you were that will spread falsities about things to try to gain a better position, I guess, if you will, or potentially try to steer you away from continuing potentially a relationship or rekindling a relationship or anything like that. And so what's important is that you maintain relationships with the actual people in charge of those contracts at those companies. So this did not happen with me with NRS or Costa. So I'm going to use NRS as an example because I still love those guys greatly. But so my contact with NRS when I was doing just media or when I was on their fishing team or now has always been David Foyt. And David is a good guy who I have fished with and who I trust when he says something, that's 100% truth. Like, he has no reason to lie to me. We have a great relationship. And so if someone were to try to come between that relationship, it's important to reach out to your contact. So if somebody tried to get in the middle of David and I and say, hey, well, I heard David was saying this or this or that, or I heard X, Y, and Z, and, they think it's a bad fit, or they don't like what you're doing, or whatever. I think there's a temptation to be like, well, screw that guy. If David's going to talk bad or whatever, and I really hate to bring this up, but I think anybody who knows him realizes he's not that guy at all. Like, he's the opposite of that. But I think, I stumbled a little bit in a situation recently where I didn't go directly to my contact, and it frustrated me. And I didn't burn a bridge or anything. I just voiced some frustrations to some people that I know that work with that company, and I'm like, hey, I'm hearing this. Have you heard anything about this? Like, this is really weird. And actually, one of them advocated for me and went and had a conversation because, I don't know, I felt kind of heartbroken over it because I had done a lot of work with this company. And turns out, no, it was all bullshit. Somebody just wanted to get in between.
Stirring the pot a little bit.
Yeah, and I think, it's a person I'm familiar with, and I think there's been a lot of that maybe over my time in the kayak industry. This has always been somebody who's, I don't know, just always off. There's something about me that they don't like, or they find threatening, or they just can't get with. I don't know what that is, but it's to the point to where it taught me a lesson, and I wanted to talk about it today because I should have just been like, and gone straight to my company contact, right? Should have just done that, but I got in my feelings a little bit about it.
Well, I was going to say that happens because when you hear something like that, there's going to be that human reaction, and and it ended up being absolutely nothing. They're like, nope, not aware of that, and don't care, even if that were the case. So it's a reminder of a valuable lesson to keep your relationships in this industry close and keep communication open. And I see some folks that are fairly new, I guess, to promotional staff, pro staff, professional staff, whatever you want to call it, that
tend to go hard in the paint against certain things. And I think that's potentially a bad move.
Yeah, Randy Newton just says, always remember you have that contact for a reason. Just go to them and talk it out. Just like that's basically what you said. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes people want to try to be more important or have more influence than they actually have, and that's why we have team captains or team contacts.
Sorry. Had a random dog come join the bait shop.
I saw it. It looked like a pretty German Shepherd.
Oh, yeah. He's a gorgeous German Shepherd. He's just a curious boy. And his one of his humans is considerably smaller than he is.
Well, I was going to say, which scent did you put in those baits? It must have been dog food scent or something, huh?
It's that new coffee scent. Everybody loves coffee. But anyway, so that's enough don't screw up talk. It's basically just a reminder. You got to keep those relationships and that communication open.
Right.
Because relationships in the hook and bullet world, they come and go based on what a company needs from their marketing, promotional teams, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we've seen significant turnover in the public relations arenas. So I still get all of the press releases for everybody. Whether it's Pure Fishing or Shimano or Costa and Revo and all those guys. I still get all their stuff, and it's amazing that as soon as those contracts come up, a lot of times those PR companies change. And I think it's a great reminder that things change in the industry every year.
Yeah.
And if you're just trying to be a good person, trying to do the right thing and keep good communication, you're in a good spot. You ain't got much to worry about.
I tell you, I feel so fortunate and to be part of the Feelfree Kayak community. And I know you know a bunch of those guys from back in the 14-15 time frame when you were working with them with the KBF when it was growing. Yep. And but I mean, and then you got Roland Jimenez, Bones. I mean, he's top notch. Working with him, we're going to start a Feelfree Kayak Fishing podcast. We're going to do a monthly show.
Yeah.
So would love to have you come on and talk with us there too, man. We'll get get you some love out there with those 4 brands, because I'm sure we'll be live streaming on those group pages.
No, that's fantastic, and I know and love a lot of those guys. I remember Denver showing me the original prototype for the Overdrive.
Yeah.
At ICAST moons ago, and Bones I know from the ACK days back in the heyday when everything was moving and shaking down in Austin before everything kind of
fell apart,
went the way of the dog.
Yeah.
But and JC and just all those guys. And I actually, probably my first one of my first real contacts with them was Todd West.
Oh yeah.
Who's been on the show. Todd Todd was doing stuff with Feelfree for quite a while, and
right.
We've had a lot of long talks, and a lot of good people in the industry are working with Feelfree, and they're doing it their own way, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look forward to that. I love talking to those guys. They're all good people.
Yeah, I try to talk to them as much as I can. I'm on the phone or talking to Roland, and it's in regards to the way communication. Me and him talk at least weekly. And if it's not over the phone, it's via text or via something, about the team or about what's going on. And so I appreciate them guys just reaching out to me and asking me for my feedback and input on stuff, and they're always available to me when I need something. I just sold my Dorado. Looked like the guy I sold it to from Romney. He was on the show here a little bit ago watching, and I sold my Dorado to him. So right now I'm sort of boatless. I just got my river boat, the Moken, that I'm gonna have to rig up to use until the new Dorado hits the streets, which should be real soon, hopefully.
Bones was actually the one who showed me the Dorado when the first one came out. He showed me at a show. I can't remember if it was iCast or Paddle Sports Retailer or Outdoor. Who knows?
Hey, Garrett. Garrett.
They all
Garrett's
run together.
Yeah, Garrett's still on here watching. But yeah, he got a good deal. And Garrett, if you have any questions or anything, buddy, I'll definitely help you out. So what are we working on now? What did you just fill in that mold, or is that another lizard mold?
This is more. Yeah, this is more lizards. I've only got one of these molds, so I got to shoot it twice because I'm a believer in 8 baits per pack on these lizards. I could sell them 4 to a pack and probably sell them okay, but when you are fishing lizards, you're typically fishing close contact and angry bass. So I think 8 is probably a little bit better of a ratio and a little bit better deal for our anglers. We're staying at $5 a pack. Prices have gone up everywhere, but we're staying at $5 a pack and $5 flat rate shipping on every order.
So I mean that's outstanding. I mean that's outstanding. I mean you can't beat that. I mean
I wouldn't think so.
No, you really can't. I mean, plus not only that, but they're custom. People can say, hey, can you put this scent? Can you add this color and get what they want?
I've been emailing back and forth with a guy named Josh, and he said, hey, can you make a 4-inch ringworm in this color? And I'm like, well, I can make a 5-inch ringworm in that color, possibly, but do you have the company that made it? And he's like, man, my dad bought thousands of these things in bulk 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know the brand. I'm running out of them quickly. Can I send you one? And I'm like, yep. If you can send it to me, I can probably get close to matching it. And, that kind of stuff, I love doing that because I did the same thing for my dad. My dad absolutely loves this color that we used to use when I was still at home, when I was a teenager. Really, really good color that Berkeley made back then. And I was able to pretty much replicate it to a T because you can't find it anywhere. They don't make it anymore. And so for my dad's birthday, I was able to give him a bunch of ringworms in his favorite color.
Awesome.
And so anytime I can kind of bring back that nostalgia color for folks and just really lock it in for them, I love doing that. I just absolutely love it. So if people out there have got something weird that, they want to see if I can do, let me know. All of my socials are on here and emails and all that stuff is all over my website. Yeah, I've even had some guys find my phone number and text me. It's out there.
Yeah, and it's all on this show, guys. So watch the credits or just look at the info at the beginning of the show, and you can get a hold of Chris through one of his socials or his TikTok too. And go check out his TikTok if you're a TikToker. He's got a lot of information out there. So that's where he posts a lot of his videos about what he's doing right there in the kitchen. So.
Yeah, and I've got another video that's going to drop tonight on TikTok, and I'll have to put it in Facebook Watch, I guess, because you can't do reels that are over 60 seconds, and all my TikToks are almost 3 minutes because I'm trying to cram it all in there. But basically what I'm going to do is I am going to show everybody the recipe for my crappie color.
Nice. And
how to make that. So for folks who are making stuff at home or wanting to get into it, I actually released a few of my recipes for people to try and see, what they like.
Did it include your famous Cajun recipe?
No, no, we ain't releasing that one.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I do want to show one other bait that it flies under the radar a lot, but I think it's a pretty interesting bait, and it's this guy right here. So that is an 8.5-inch worm with a bulbous tail. You can kind of see that there.
Oh yeah.
We call it the rattle moccasin, and it is unlike most of the ones that are this size. It is not flat sided. It is round all the way around, and so you fish that thing on a shaky head, a Texas rig, a Carolina rig. The movement in the water is insane. And the thing I like about that bulbous tail, because we sell 10-inch worms too, but the 10-inch worms, if you've got bluegill around, those ribbon tails are kind of thin, and they can bite those tails and sometimes steal that. This bulbous tail, it's a much harder thing for them to bite off and get, and so you maintain that action, and that having a bigger tail that tapers back into the body allows it to whip around, and it's a really good action.
Outstanding, man. All right, man. Well, let's wrap it up with you here. Give me some of your final thoughts, and then we'll talk. I'll close off the show. So,
I heard a video that John Gordon did with Sean McVay of the Los Angeles Rams, and he met with Sean when he took over the Rams his first year there, and met with him for 5 hours. And for those of you guys who don't know who John Gordon is, he's like a kind of a self-help guru and business and tactician and all this stuff. Anyway, but he met with him, and John is kind of he's an expert in culture and leadership and all of that stuff. And he met with Sean, and he said, the thing that I came out of with that is this guy's going to be really successful. He's going to continue to build a lot of great teams because his culture is built around we, not me. And I think we, not me is a great way to approach working with companies, right? So many times
totally
when we're new and eager in the business, it's like, what can you do for me?
Right.
And
see it all the time.
Yeah. And so I think if you think of it as we, not me, like here's your benefit, here's my benefit, here we in this together. We, not me works really well for a lot of relationships with companies. And so we, not me, final thoughts.
Awesome. Chris, good to see you, buddy, and thank you for what you do for us and for your community. I think it was awesome what you did last week. Again, look forward to talking to you next week. Send me any info if you got any info you want me to put out about baits, the store, or anything like that, and we'll let her rock and roll, buddy.
All right. Thanks, John.
Hey, so that was our boy Chris Payne from Payne Outdoors in Texas. Throwing out some info, good information on, talking about when you're talking with representatives from companies and when you belong to a staff, only work with the people that you are involved with who are in running the show. Don't let other people get in the middle and muddy up things for you. Communication, keep it open. While we're talking about that, I want to let's switch scenes here, and I want to focus on. Let's see if I can get it to show up here. Nope, not going to work on this scene. So I'll have to go to Chris's scene. Here, we'll do it right here. So hey, Paddle and Fin, Del Hollow event. I'm going, and I know Jack Gillespie's going. So just recently saw where Brian Schiller put out they had some more sponsor update coming out. Let me double check that for you. So let's see. Let me see. Brian. How does this look? Paddle and Fin podcast. Okay, so it's April 2nd and 3rd. If you get scheduled before March 1st, you have a chance to stay down at the marina. They're going to raffle off 6 spaces in one of the houseboats. So the houseboat rocks. Me and Gillespie stayed in the houseboat last year. Parked our boat right to the dock. You had your restaurant and your kayak shop not even 100 feet away. You could get up, get in your boat, paddle up the Obey River or go into Del Hollow Lake because we're right at the mouth of the lake and the river, or and fish. But let's see, Brian put out earlier that they had sponsors updates for the tournament. Douglas Spinning and Casting Rods is going to provide 3 rods each day. They're the LRS Series 7.2 Fast Action Casting for the big bass prizes. And one will be given away at the award ceremony. So there's 3 rods up. And then Bioenno Power is sending some stuff down for lucky participants. So we're going to have some batteries that's going to be thrown out. So Paddle and Fin, it's the Del Hollow event. Let me get that back up here for you. So, and I really would like to see a few more guys go. I know Greg Kupfner from the WVKA, president of WVKA, is looking at going. Santee Cooper got completely rocked with the Hobie Series tournament the week before this. So if you weren't able to go to Santee Cooper with Hobie, this would be a great alternative. It's an $80 entry fee. Camping is free for anybody that goes. You stay at the farm if you register before March 1st. So I mean, you got a couple weeks to decide, but all you have to do is go to the Paddle and Fin website and just go to the 4th tab over, Del Hollow event, and look into it. Would love to see several of us WVK guys, West Virginia boys, make the trip, go down there and have some fun, maybe win some money. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for the show. God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're not doing anything here in a little bit, go over to Kayak Anglers of Florida. Watch Randy Newton here in about 40 minutes. Kayak Anglers of Florida podcast is getting ready to round up. And let's watch and see what's going on with them boys down in that area. So, thanks again.